Start your hype and ride in space. Join this race that's sweeping the place. Watch me hold it. Come hold it. Now I'll laugh as loud as can be. It's not about me, nothing to me. Satisfaction.
Dude. Yeah.
Hey, man. Dragon Ball Super episode 125 is officially in the books. Wow, that was amazing. That was really good. That was some of the most badass Dragon Ball we've seen in a little while. What do you reckon, dude?
On the edge of the seat the whole time, really. I wasn't expecting it to be as action. Obviously, I had an idea about what to expect. It blew my mind, man.
Toppo is not fat. He's actually completely jacked.
Yeah. I mean, we already heard that he's kind of on the level of a god of destruction. He's kind of a nominee for it. In some ways.
Candidate for god of destruction. Yeah,
candidate's a better word. Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, he got pushed quite a bit before he got to that form.
17, man, 17 in this fucking episode. It's just, it's absolutely insane how strong that guy is. I mean,
yeah, he's OP'd a bit, but you know, he's been impressive so far. I think a lot of people are surprised that he's still standing after Gohan's been eliminated. I suppose same with Frieza.
Well, Frieza spends pretty much half of each episode just laughing maniacally, like, but then proceeds to get, but then he gets absolutely destroyed, and it's like, you know, we want to see Frieza be evil. We want to see Frieza kicking ass because he's not had masses to do in this tournament, but yeah, he really got fucked over in this episode. No doubt about it. It was coming because we'll get on to that, dude. But for anyone who's here, if you wanted to ask any questions, if you want to get involved in the chat, just put that down in the comment section. We'll get to any questions or any thoughts you guys might have down in the comment section. But what we tend to do on these videos is just get excited about the episode. We review the episode. We obviously translations aren't fully out yet, but when they are, we go through them together, and we just look ahead to the episodes that are coming up and think, what the hell is going to happen? And with 6 episodes remaining, how is this thing going to finish?
Yeah, I mean, 6 episodes, man.
I know.
It will be
it's going to be a sad moment. It's going to be a sad moment, dude. I'm gonna that last episode. It's going to be. It's going to be like, other than the film, we're going to be waiting potentially, I don't know, 18 months, 2 years probably before we get more Dragon Ball. But anyway, look, we won't concentrate on that. So let's just talk about what we just saw. And like I said, if any of you guys have seen the episode,
before we do that, we have got a couple of comments on the video.
All right, okay.
Somebody, Jordi, apologies if I get the name wrong, but it's Jordi Almeida Solos, asking where is the episode. I think we had this question a few times last week.
Yeah, it's just finished, dude. The episode's just finished. So what we're doing here is we're dissecting the episode. If you want to know what happens, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it all. But yeah, Crunchyroll and Verve are the channels to watch the video.
Yeah, and I'm sure in not before long, some people will actually upload it to upload a clip to YouTube until it gets taken down, and somebody else will. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you say we've got another comment as well, dude?
Yeah. Someone Lax224 saying, "Was that shit good?"
Was that shit good?
Yeah.
Are they talking about, was the episode good, or is this if that was smoking good?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you then.
Are they saying about, was the episode good, or is the shit that was smoking good?
Who knows? Who knows? We'll leave that to be discussed in the comments.
Yeah.
But
Should we just get into it then?
Yeah. So I mean,
let's
so much stuff seemed to happen on this episode. It blew my mind. I mean, it was mainly we saw a lot of detail with the fight between Toppo and Android 17.
The artwork as well. I've got to say the art was on point because there's nothing worse than getting a really good episode of Dragon Ball Super and then suddenly cuts to a couple of scenes where the art is just terrible and it just completely ruins it. But thankfully, the whole episode was immense. I mean, the artwork was brilliant. The music was on point. The kind of emotion in the episode. There were some serious badass moments as well, but we'll come on to them. But yeah, just all good, dude. Just all good.
It was incredible. I completely agree. I think they put a lot of detail into the. Obviously, there was a lot of key blasts being thrown between 17 and Toppo at the beginning. Suppose Toppo comes to realize that 17's plan really is to waste time, essentially, because he knows the tournament's going to be finished very soon. He's not going to run out of energy. He's trying to keep Toppo from knocking anybody else out of the ring, basically.
Yeah, because they've got the numbers advantage. It's 5 versus 2.
Right.
Then I think Toppo gets wise to the fact that 17 has unlimited energy, so 17 can just. It's
4 versus 2 at the moment.
Of course, yeah, with Gohan being gone as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So Toppo decides that he needs to just eliminate 17, get it over and done with.
But 17's got other ideas.
Yeah, man, they engage in some kind of old school, like classic key blast battle, like which Frieza appears out of nowhere. Does his laugh, and starts firing at Toppo in the back, it was satisfying. Because he looked so pissed off with that.
Yeah, cause obviously that's using the 2-on-1 advantage, but Toppo was just getting so drained by Frieza when he was hitting him in the back. Frieza obviously then comes at him with an extra large blast to finish him off. But he just says actually that he's not enough to kill him, but enough to seriously hurt him. And obviously then we see Toppo get pushed back all the way, almost falling off the arena from 17, who was just. Like, if anybody is questioning 17's power at this point, it's just doesn't need. 17 has proven in this episode and previous episodes that he is just an absolute monster in terms of power. He's at least on God level, Super Saiyan Blue God level. But just prior to the moments where, because that was towards the beginning of the episode, prior to the moments where we have the situation with Frieza 17 and Toppo, we've got the moments where Goku and Vegeta start out the episode fighting against Jiren, and it's all fast-paced action, like usual. You've got crazy crazy vocals there from all the vocal actors, and then they're struggling. Goku gets a hold of Jiren, and we get the 17,547th final flash of this series.
Or it might be the 48th.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and the final flash, that's not final, and it wasn't final this time either, unfortunately. Jiren just complete boss, just deflects it with his eyes, like, it's just ridiculous now. And then the battle continues. We get to the fight there with Toppo, Frieza, and 17, and then we get the moment which everyone's been waiting for, which is where Toppo suddenly becomes an absolute jacked up monster. Massive transformation.
After being taunted massively by Frieza.
Yeah, and Frieza stood over
him and calling him garbage, essentially. Yeah.
Saying you're completely garbage.
That's just gonna have to interrupt you because there's quite a few comments that have appeared. Mainly from, I think it's Lax224. Yeah, so it's just Toppo has those huge sausage fingers that fire key blasts.
Yeah, definitely.
A bit of his trademark. And Stanley Ho, is Freezer out or just unconscious? Well, at this point,
He's not out.
Freezer's not eliminated now.
He's hanging on by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, because basically, from what we saw, what's happened is Freezer, as we were just talking about then, Freezer's standing over Toppo, taunting him. After Toppo's suffered this huge blast, because that's just in the style of Freezer, right? And then Toppo stands up, unleashes this crazy like god energy, like a god of destruction.
And Beerus immediately stands up, saying, "That's Hakai."
Yeah,
that's Hakai energy.
Yeah, he says, "Oh, it shouldn't be allowed." And then in his defense, that he's not it's technically not a god of destruction. You know, it was just a candidate, so it's plausible.
Yeah,
but yeah, so Toppo is just OP. I mean, it's as impressive as it was when we saw Jiren's part of Jiren's power unleashed for the first time. I thought
there's just nothing that anybody can do, because Toppo has just got to that level where he's essentially anything that touches Toppo disintegrates. Like, it doesn't matter what Frieza did. It doesn't matter how many times 17 blasted him. He just, the moment it touched his body, it just disintegrated like nothing, because he's a god. And Frieza obviously gets his world rocked. One huge Hakai blast, to which he remembers, he recalls when Seadra, if you remember, I can't recall the episode, but prior to the tournament where Seadra sent his guys to try and take Frieza down, and Frieza absorbed on the Hakai energy and somehow managed to break out of it when Goku struggled, if you remember, in that same episode. So Frieza gets overconfident when the Hakai energy, is coming towards him. So he absorbs it on. He tries to hold it off, but he's just completely powerless, and it just basically fucks him up. It completely rocks his world.
It's accurate, isn't it?
And yeah, immediately you think Frieza's probably been knocked off, but as soon as it touches him, you see him go straight from Golden into his like final form, and then you've got 17, who's just an absolute boss, just going around using every bit of skill he's got, and putting up a really good fight from distance against Toppo, using incredible speed as well. But Toppo is just incredibly strong, and nothing can possibly affect him because he's a god.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly it's just characters with god energy. So you got Vegeta and Goku, for example.
Yeah, that'll be a better fight.
They could affect him. I'd like to see if it's true or if it's just kind of some kind of hype. Like, he's talking so highly of himself that nobody but a god can damage him. I don't know.
Well, actually, Toppo, as the leader of the Pride Troopers, are all about justice. He actually said it's not. We've looked at Herms98 on Twitter for the translations, and he actually says, for right now, it's not about justice. I'm just here to beat you guys and survive. It's about survival, and this is what this tournament's all about. About survival. So all the poses, all of the Pride Trooper ridiculous kind of taunts, and they were all out the window in this episode. There was no poses. It was Toppo getting down to business and getting serious.
They're by no means evil characters.
No. In fact, you'd almost say Universe 7's got the most evil kind of characters, really, because from what we understand, everything that the Pride Troopers do is for justice. So, and we got Frieza, who's just as evil as it comes, really.
Yeah.
Any more questions or any more kind of feedback from the guys in the chat? Hopefully, you guys have all watched the episode. If you haven't, we're going to give you a thorough rundown of exactly what's happened in the episode. But if you've got any kind of analysis or any thoughts that you gathered from the episode, feel free to put them in the comments and ask any questions that you want as well in the comment section. We'll get to them as well.
There are some comments in the section.
Fuck you too.
So Lax has been Lax224. Is it? I think it's Lax. I think it's LA XXX224.
Where's the dude from last week? Where's he gone?
He's saying he smokes the drugs. But he also. But he. Sorry, I don't know if it's he or she. They're asking, where are we from? Where are you guys from? We're from a city in the north of England called York.
Yeah. If you're wondering, oh, they don't sound like they eat tea and toast with the Queen. The reason for that is because
we sound like Jon Snow.
Yeah, John. If you watch Game of Thrones, those guys who are from the north, because it's kind of based on the UK.
Oh, based in the north.
Yeah, that's where we're from, the north. We're from
our friend Mickey Land's back.
Like Winterfell.
Mickey Land from last week is back.
Is he back?
Yeah,
he's back. And Mickey Land wants to get in on the action.
With the no killing rule on the tournament, does Toppo need to hold back with his Hakai blasts?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's OP.
There's no doubt about it. Like if Toppo wanted to right now, he could easily go up to 17 and literally just disintegrate him on the spot. Yeah, because everything that emitted from Toppo was Hakai energy. Like he can literally just he can erase anybody who's weaker than him. So yeah, 100%.
I've got a comment from Ramina D.I. Daniel. At least that's how I'm reading the name. And they're asking when will the new episode get out. This Crunchyroll is a popular one. It'll be available shortly. I imagine in about an hour or so. But
the episode
if you look around on the net, Google search or whatever you do, I'm sure you'll find some kind of sources available. We don't have any links to give you, but it shouldn't be too difficult to find the episodes. And Pyro Saiyan has said, "Imagine Toppo fingering someone."
Oh, tell you what, if Toppo did that, if all I've got in my mind now is Toppo wrecking Chi-Chi, right? If Toppo was the Chi-Chi, if he literally like Justice Flash Chi-Chi with his sausage fingers, she would literally just
steak fingers, aren't they?
Yeah. Like literally, like one of Toppo's fingers is like one of my legs.
Let's think that it was Toppo. It has been mainly about him in this episode.
It was overdue though, because Toppo needs, like, we were introduced to Toppo right from there's an exhibition match. Like prior to the tournament, Toppo spoke about Jiren and how there's someone much stronger than him, but he's the leader of Universe 11, and we should be seeing more of Toppo really. But yeah, it was absolutely great to see in this episode Toppo kind of come to fruition and deliver upon that Hakai energy that he was touted to have before this tournament began. But guys, I've got some questions. Obviously, we've spoke a bit about the episode. Yeah. And I'll keep saying if anyone else who's joining the stream, any questions or thoughts, put them down in the comments and we'll get to them and shout anybody out. But I've just kind of got some observations, just been thinking a bit more broadly about Dragon Ball Super as a whole. And I've got a few questions that I'd put to you, dude, and see. And also this goes for anybody else who's watching, if any kind of comments on this. But Android 17 in this episode, and every episode, in fairness, throughout the whole of the tournament, has just been, he's been immense. And the kind of feats of power that he's shown from when he originally fought Goku, and being able to kind of keep up with an SS Blue. This is somebody who was absorbed by first form Cell. So if you can imagine the kind of scale of power up from first form Cell to Goku SS Blue level, that is like ridiculous. And bear in mind, we know 17 has trained, but he's a family man who works with animals on a remote island. He doesn't have Whis to train him or Beerus to fight. He's not had any of that whatsoever. He's just a family guy who goes to work, and he's somehow managed to get on an SS Blue level. And before I kind of pitch the question, in the Battle of God's Ark, where Beerus had the whole vision of that god, right? And he came down, and if you remember when he landed on King Kai's planet, and King Kai introduced him to Goku, and he wanted to check if Goku was the god that he was thinking of, and Goku fought at his top power, which was at the time was only Super Saiyan 3, and obviously he got wrecked. So at that point, how strong was 17? Because at this moment in time, he's probably on a level with Super Saiyan God, like blue level. So at the time that Beerus came down, is it conceivable that at that point, 17 was the strongest on the whole planet? And if that's true, then how come they didn't realize?
Okay, so my response to that is that imagine 17's power, you can't sense his power, right?
What, being an android?
Yeah, being an android, I imagine can't sense it. It's more difficult to sense God Key. It's less difficult to sense God Key. So
how has 17 got so powerful, dude?
Right. So maybe I'll get onto that in a minute. But maybe that it's possible that they hadn't thought about when they made the movie. They hadn't considered that 17 would turn out to be a significant character in the series. Although I imagine they wouldn't admit that. But yeah, as for 17 getting as powerful as he is, I suppose that being alone on an island with loads of animals for years, with not many people attacking, he has a lot of time on his hands, unlike 18. 18's kind of, she's got a busy life, she's a mother, she's married, she's doing all the day-to-day stuff. 17's focus really has been to train to protect the island. And also, you need to bear in mind that 17 doesn't tire. He doesn't get tired like Goku and Vegeta does. They train for a little while or for a long time. They get exhausted. They might sleep for a few days or whatever, right? 17, like, just go at it constantly. I mean, I don't know the exact rate.
Dude. I don't want to turn this into a bait, man, but you can't seriously be telling me that that when he's taking breaks from looking after the animals, he's able to train by himself and get as strong as Goku had to get by training with divine beings such as the angels, Whis, Beerus, whatever. Like, it was a prolonged training program with those guys for him to unlock SS Blue, and that's the same for Vegeta. And we're supposed to believe that basically 17 plays with a few animals and manages to get to the same level. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, I don't
because I'm not saying he's gotten strong by playing with animals. I'm saying that there hasn't been any significant threat to the animals on the island. Anyone that might have been a threat, 17 will basically just like flick his finger and get rid of them, right? So it's not like he's had to be that active. He's not had a busy schedule defending them. He's had a lot of time to train, and if his sole focus has been on training, in order to prepare for whatever attack might come, I think it's believable that he could have gotten a lot stronger. I mean,
it's believable.
Yeah, I get your point. I get your point that it's like he hasn't been trained by a Whis. Dude,
he's not even gone into the hyperbolic time chamber or room of spirit of time. He's not even gone in there. He's just been on a remote island. You know, when Vegeta was training, he goes
the
to
unlimited stamina will have a big impact on it. Sorry, man. We've got a few people in the live chat talking here. We should really catch up with it because somebody. Let's have a look.
Where's the
sorry, Alvaro Frolich. Asking come today the episode 125. So I think they're asking, is episode 125 out today? It's just been streamed. Live on Tokyo TV. Yeah, but I imagine in the next hour or so there'll be a few sources available online. Some of them probably on YouTube, but I think the best and most reliable ones, Crunchyroll, arguably. So we got Mickey Lan saying that the 17 power up is really insane. So this is going to what we were just talking about a minute ago. the 17 power up is really insane. He has the unlimited energy, so in a way, he's only limited by move speed and how quickly he can use the energy.
They certainly used move speed in this episode because there's a moment where Toppo powers up into his Hakai Toppo, Hakaishin kind of form. I guess that's what he's going to be kind of called now, the Toppo Hakaishin, whatever.
Yeah.
But he kind of runs a little bit like Dispo did with Frieza. He kind of runs like a square around Toppo using the broken up fighting platform, and which is now a complete mess because Toppo's just destroyed it all. And then he nails Toppo with a huge blast. But so he is using his speed, but unfortunately, just literally, it's like water off a duck's back. It just hits Toppo, completely disintegrates. And 17, like I say, like we've been saying, is ridiculous.
It's like when it hits him with his beams, it's like his reactions like is basically there's rain falling on him. It's just being splashed by raindrops. Is ridiculous.
There's a lot of people have said who's stronger, Beerus or Jiren, and actually, you know, I'm going to come back to that because that's my next kind of debate question. But dude, for me, with the whole thing with 17. He's not had this room and spirit of time. He's not managed to train with Whis because we've seen, and Goku's always had a master, even if he's been more powerful. Whether it's been Roshi way back in the day, whether it's been King Kai or or Whis, he's always had somebody. Corrin way back, I think, believe in Dragon Ball. Like he's always had somebody to kind of train him, and I'm just not buying. I know
Goku's always had somebody to train him because he's got a short concentration span. He's easily distracted. He needs that discipline. I think it's always worked well for him to have that discipline there, somebody to guide him through the training. 17's, I mean, I was going to say 17's essentially just programming, right? So it's a perfect design to.
No, he is a human.
I know. I hesitated slightly because he's become human, but obviously that personality remains the same from when he was an android.
No, he was a human first, and then he was reprogrammed then he became an android.
Yeah. Okay. I'm saying after the programming, the design there was to be in a way kind of perfect and self-sufficient.
Yeah.
That I don't think it'll be a problem for if he set his mind to it. As a sole mission for 17 to just train really hard for years, more or less non-stop, because he doesn't tire out from training.
I get that, dude. You know what? I get that, and I think I'm going to disagree though, dude, respectfully, because personally, there's no way, and I'm just not having it. And guys, if you agree with me, you can put that in or if you agree with Rob, just pop it down in the chat of where you stand on this debate. But you know, I think most of us like 17. He's a good character. It's been really, really good to see him back, and he's been really good in the tournament as well. Really powerful, and he's just kind of I like having more badass characters in Dragon Ball. It's just kind of, I always kind of lean myself towards the Piccolos and Vegetas of the world, you know, rather than like a Goku personally. That's just personal preference. So I like 17's character, but I'm just not buying that he's of a god level just by training relentlessly because I just don't think just training on a patch of land that surrounded by animals, he's going to be able to gain as much as what Vegeta would if he was training under like 500 times gravity, or whether he's in the room of spirit of time, or you know, even more so if he was training with Whis and learning those techniques. So I'm just not having it. But final question on this, dude. When Beerus comes to King Kai's planet in search of the Super Saiyan God, at that moment, in your opinion, is 17 the strongest of everybody, or has 17 suddenly become strong since then to the tournament?
I think it's a difficult one because part of me thinks that when they made that movie, they hadn't contemplated that 17 would become more or less a leading character in the Tournament of Power, because there's a lot of times passed since then. I think this 17 being in it's more of a last minute rewrite. But I think in their defense, they would say that they had thought about it and that 17 was just busy and wasn't aware of the events going on at the time. Nobody would have been able to detect 17's power. So it was more or less out of the picture. But technically, if we're going back to the story that's the arc that's going on now, technically, I do think 17 was the strongest on the planet.
Like Goku's only got his power by training with Whis, because before he was just a Super Saiyan 3, which is kind of not a very good form anyway, is it? Because we know the stamina issues of that, which is one of the reasons why Vegeta never actually tapped into it. And Goku very, very seldom uses it himself. So Super Saiyan 3 is not really a good form really for Goku anyway.
I think Goku's sure he's had great training from Whis, but a lot of it has been Whis helping Goku to realize the potential that's within his power. Vegeta gains the God form like naturally, right? More naturally to Goku. So I think a lot of it is, as I say, it's guidance.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well, the next bit I wanted to talk about. Is there any? Has anyone got any thoughts in the chat about that? Just before I move on, dude.
So Mickey Land's commented saying it would be boring if it was just the Goku Vegeta show all the time. So
I agree with that.
The characters like 17.
Yeah,
I agree. He shouldn't be this strong. Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that.
I agree as well. Dude.
I've been a Gohan fan for a long time, but I don't want to be sound too bitchy here. But I think for a long time recently, it has been, rather than being the Goku and Vegeta show, it's been the Goku show. I mean,
it's always been the Goku show.
Yeah, I mean, well, more so recently. I think like there's. Up until recently, Vegeta's he's had one or two like cool moments, but he's just it comes across to me like it's not, the writer's not as much into him.
I don't know if I agree with that, dude. I really think that they've Vegeta's had a much bigger push than he ever really got, because even in the
last few weeks he has.
Yeah. But even in like the promotional stuff, like, you know, when you see all the fighters and they're all stood together, it's like, you know, Vegeta's right up there at the front with Goku, whereas in the previous Dragon Ball Z, he would have been maybe stood to the side with his back turned, kind of thing, you know. But yeah, I definitely agree with Mickey Land though, dude, because like we do need more characters. I just think the way that okay, it's an ass pull, right? It's an ass pull. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm calling it. It's an ass pull. They've given 17 a massive ass pull to kind of bring him to the level, because they do understand that they need more characters. But for me, I would have preferred if they would have given Gohan more. I would have liked Piccolo to have more. Fuck it, Tien, I would have liked more. Black Yamcha in there, I don't fucking know, but just. And I love 17, like I've already said. I just think that the power up it's the biggest power up the world's ever known. To go from
What about Master Roshi?
Dude, Master Roshi was mint in this tournament, but in terms of feats and power, he's nowhere near 17's level, like not even close.
I think he's arguably had the biggest jump though in power, hasn't he?
Kind of. Well, I don't know.
Just throwing it out there. I won't push it too much, because this is a discussion about episode 125 after all. we go on for ages about that.
But yeah, I mean, I'd like to hear what everybody else out there thought about 125. I mean, for me, it was really, I really enjoyed it. It's 17 again, just been an absolute monster. Toppo's form, you know, before all the poses, you kind of the podgy look, it's all gone, and now he's just an absolute monster who looks like Eddie Hall, and you know what as well, when he does it, because he's just massive, and you know when he kind of ascended into his like Hakaishin form, and then he started doing he's like Justice Flash, and he started doing Justice Flash. It was funny because the sound effects on the Justice Flash and how fast they were coming out. I don't know if anybody out there plays Call of Duty Zombies, right? But if you play that game and use the Pack-a-Punch machine, it makes your bullets strong. It makes the weapon stronger, and it fires out, and it's like lasers like beep, 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 beep. It was literally like Toppo had Pack-a-Punched the Justice Flash. That's literally what it was like. And if there's anybody out there who plays Zombies, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But the sound effects were just exactly the same. But it was mid episode. I really enjoyed it. Really liked it.
I mean, from the comments, there's a few. It looks like there's a few people who haven't seen it yet, and they're asking where to find it. As I say, be patient. The episode will be available in quite a few places soon. It's just a case of looking for it. It's only just streamed about maybe an hour ago, so it's early days. But as I say, I mean, it's probably too late to say now that it's a spoiler alert, because I suppose you wouldn't be watching the video, hopefully, if you hadn't seen, if you're not worried about having spoilers just based on the title. But as for bullet points, basically, it's Goku Vegeta still intense battle with Jiren. That's off the scale, as expected. They both fire the most. So Goku fires his Kamehameha, Vegeta Final Flash, Jiren just deflects it with his eyes. So there's a huge struggle between 17 and Toppo, and Toppo realizes that 17's plan essentially is to delay Toppo until the tournament's over, so that because I suppose because it's 4 versus 2, right? He wants the time to be up, and so their universe wins. Toppo catches on to that and decides he's going to eliminate 17 as soon as possible. He goes for it, and then Frieza comes out of nowhere, does his laugh, ho 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 ho. Like, it's probably sorry for the impression, it's terrible. He starts firing at Toppo in the back, just really winding up, starts taunting him and all sorts. Toppo goes into this crazy God Key energy.
Not yet, dude. Not yet.
No.
You missed it there. Not quite yet.
17. Why do you carry on? Because I'm getting too ahead of myself, right?
It's the hype, man. It's the hype's real.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you say, he just kind of pisses Toppo off, and then 17 uses his moment to push Toppo all the way back, and Toppo only manages to stay on by skin of his teeth, really, and he's kind of a bit done in, really, from being attacked from the front and behind, and then you get Frieza, who comes over the top of him and does the laugh and calls Toppo garbage, and then it's at that moment that he taps in. He just gets up, looks basically like, I'm gonna fuck you up, and then he just goes into Hakai energy. Beerus immediately stands up on his feet like, oh, he's a god, like shit.
Yeah.
And then it goes on to do from there.
Carry on.
You do it.
Well, I mean, at this point, Toppo is in his god form, and it's ridiculous. He fires this blast at Frieza. Frieza has had this experience of this. He's gained this confidence of dealing with god power, right, from just before the tournament of power. He handles it like a boss. So he's very confident. He thinks he can just handle this power that Toppo's thrown at him. Turns out he can't. It just absolutely creates this ridiculous explosion that rocks the whole universe, right? And so we don't see Frieza for a while. 17's going for that hit with Toppo again. He's firing directly at Toppo, and the attacks are just hitting like it's just no effect at all. It's like it's been slashed with rain, you know. It's crazy. Hang on. Yeah, so it's basically Toppo's taunts 17. Well, in a respectful way that Toppo does, that essentially his attacks have no effect, and that he can't have any effect on him unless he has God energy. We don't know how truthful that is, but well, I'm sure we'll get a better idea soon.
No doubt, dude.
Freezer comes back. He seems angry as hell. He's got the classic, you know, like one eye closed. He's in a rage, you know, like has a go, but he's lost his golden form, so he doesn't have the power he had before, nowhere close. But still, has never a go at Toppo because he's proud at the end of the day. Freezer's a proud warrior. I don't think anyone could convince Freezer that Freezer isn't the best thing since sliced bread. But Freezer gets knocked aside again. We think he's fallen out. He kind of rolls off the corner of the arena, lands on this little tiny bit of broken.
He's teasing it.
Yeah, it's like
it's like one by one.
Yeah, so I think we got more to see from Freezer. He's going to such a proud fighter. Although he might be out soon, probably. I think we still got more to come from him.
The thing is, what can Freezer do? What can Freezer do? Because literally, I mean, in this episode, when Freezer came back right towards the end of the episode and unleashed a massive, huge ball of energy towards Toppo, in one of the most alpha moments of the tournament so far, gets a tiny speck, if like akin to the moment where Roshi threw that last bit of energy he had to try and free Vegeta, when you remember that Frost had him in the Mafuba jar. If you remember that, literally a bit of hack energy that small against Frieza's colossal, basically Genki Dama style energy blast, and Toppo just flicked at him with his thumb like it was nothing. And you know, Frieza is nothing to Toppo. Literally, he is nothing. He's going to get tossed, dude. Frieza's gone.
We might get a good line or two from him.
I just can't see any way, really, dude, that for Frieza to even be remotely competitive against either Jiren or Toppo.
No, I think at this point, unless we see some kind of special moment where some kind of platinum Freezer emerge.
Yeah, man. That's a mint idea. That's a mint idea, dude. Platinum Freezer. Hashtag Platinum Freezer.
Platinum Freezer.
Platinum Freezer in that.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's exciting. Obviously, we got we've seen the preview for next week's episode, which it shows Toppo fighting Vegeta. That makes me very curious because for one, obviously, what's happened to 17? What's happened to 17 that Toppo can fight against Vegeta?
Yeah, there's a query there.
Does that either mean that Goku has decided that he can just, for the time being, one-on-one with Jiren, which I doubt. But then there's some spoilers that have been posted the other day in the description that suggests that both Jiren and Toppo are fighting against Vegeta, which would then raises the question: what's happened to Goku as well as 17? Is Goku knocked out? Is that how he's going to reach back into his Ultra Instinct form? There's a lot of questions that have been left with it. Although it's an exciting episode, I think there's going to be a lot of discussion about the next few episodes about what's going to happen, and I'm for one excited about it.
We've got to think there's 6 episodes left in Dragon Ball Super. They're going to do at least one episode where there's no fighting. It's just like, you know, the aftermath. You know, when everything returns to normal, and you know what I mean. That episode that they always have post arc. So it probably means that we're looking at 4 to 5 episodes of the tournament of actual like fighting left.
Mm-hmm.
So when you kind of turn to that, you think, how is this thing going to finish? And we've got very little time. So I'm just gonna stick it out there. I don't think we're gonna get Vegeta. I don't think it's gonna happen. What do you reckon?
Sorry, I don't get Vegeta Ultra Instinct.
No, I don't think we're gonna get Vegito.
Oh, Vegito. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think as the episodes go on, we got what is the ending of the series for the time being draws closer. I think it's looking less likely we're going to see Vegito. I've seen a few people discussing. I'm just throwing it out there as well. I'm not saying that I agree with it, but I've seen a few people discussing the possibility that Jiren's going to eventually decide that he likes Goku. He's very interested in him, and he uses the wishes to wish back all the universes.
What? So you're saying that
with Jiren, yeah,
we actually see Universe 7 erased, and then it's just Jiren, and we see Jiren's wish.
I think so. Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's what other people have said. I'm just throwing it out because I'm.
No, that's okay. That's what it's all about.
Out there. I've also there's somebody who I know who suggested that the arc's going to end with some cliffhanger, so possibly something to do with the Archangel hosting the tournament. I've forgotten the name, so it's gone.
What, Daishinkan?
Yeah. It's been suggested for a while that there's some menace behind there, and
I don't think so, dude. I think it's too close to the end now.
It's a cliffhanger where the tournament's kind of come to an end, but then something's happened up there amongst the gods, which will kind of leave people kind of troll enough people to think, well, I've got to wait till next year, like, to see what happens here.
It would be good to have a cliffhanger like that, yeah.
As for I just can't imagine at this point Goku without it being Vegeta. I can't imagine Goku just winning the tournament. It's difficult to imagine. There's got to be something else. I can't see it being Frieza. There's still this mysterious character that was I don't know if you remember.
Yeah,
mysterious character that was shared.
I'm not sure about that, dude. I'm not sure about that anymore. How about Frieza and 17 merge? Frieza and 17 get
Who knows? Who knows, man? I mean, it's just.
Can you imagine that? Frieza with hair. Yeah, go with me on this, right? Frieza with hair. It's 17's trousers with Frieza's tail hanging out the back. Get it commissioned, dude. Get it commissioned. That's it.
Right into them. Suggest it. Mickey Lan on the comments has posted that it could go to a timeout with a tie-in numbers or something.
Yeah, like that. I could fully see that. I could fully see that. Where, for example, 17 gets eliminated, and there's just Toppo fighting Vegeta. There's Goku fighting Jiren, and there's seconds left, and they know that Frieza is like badly injured and hanging off the side, and they're just desperately trying to rush around and find him so they can lob him off. And maybe Toppo just finds him in time, throws him off, and it goes to a tiebreak or something like, like a draw or something like that. There's got to be like a suspense, because the whole tournament we've been talking about the tax and how is it 48 Earth minutes? Is it that's what it is? The tournament's meant to be. So down to the last few minutes. So there's got to be a moment where it goes in slow motion. There's like seconds to go, and something happens right at the end. Or maybe it looks like Goku or Vegeta's just about to fall off. The seconds to go, and maybe they save each other. It's a tie or something like that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting theories. I think at this point, all we could do is wait.
It's boring to it, dude. It's more fun to theorize.
It's fun to theorize. It's fine. I mean, but realistically, I'm just too excited and hyped about what's going to come in the next few weeks.
Yeah, no, definitely, dude. Definitely. Any final thoughts at all from anybody in the comment section? Anyone else's thoughts at all on the episode? Have we had any abuse tonight? I don't think have we?
No.
We've had a fair share of dislikes, but I don't know.
Dislikes.
Yeah, it's because people are trying to find the episode. I'm sorry, but we don't have the episode to broadcast, and if we did, we'd get sued. People got to understand that. People can get impatient sometimes, but don't worry. Every single person who's watching this, who's got an interest in the episode, will definitely be watching it. So watch it, get hyped about it. We've got 6 more episodes left of the series, which we all love. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about it. And you know what I really can't be asked for, dude? I really can't be asked with when this tournament finishes, people will say, "Oh, Super was shit." When time passes, "Oh, Super was shit." It's like GT Mac 2. I can't be asked for that, dude. I've enjoyed Super, man.
I've enjoyed Super. Yeah, man. No, I think it's inevitable that there'll be people that say that, but I think that compared to GT, like Super's been a really popular, successful show. I think GT ended because it was more or less people and not enough people are interested for it to carry on. Super has been much higher demand. It's been it's just it's been hyped. It's much more popular. I think we will see it come back. They'd be daft. It'd be stupid not to bring it back in the new year. I think partly the reason that the series is ending now is that I think there's a show. Again, the name's left me the time being, but there's a show that's celebrating an anniversary. That's taken over. That's Dragon Ball Super's airtime for the next few months, and it's also for the animators and the show. They want to give them the freedom and the time to put their maximum efforts into the movie that's coming out. I think towards the end of the year, because there's a movie announced, something to do with the Sane's planet. I don't know if it's in a different universe or something. I think you can talk about this. There's another comment. Yeah, they're getting all the animators to work on a new movie, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're saying, dude. It's like the animators, they need time to sleep. They've got to eat. They've been literally just going wild for so long, creating the best output they can. And I don't profess to know a huge amount about animation, but what I do know is it takes a lot of time. So those guys are going to need that freedom to, like you say, Rob, just to express themselves and do the art justice and make the movie as spectacular as possible. But just referring to what the movie could be about, when we're talking about the origin of Saiyans and all that kind of stuff, I just wonder, because what I wouldn't like to see, and I don't know whether anyone else agrees with this or not, is we had the retelling of the Resurrection Resurrection F arc, and the Battle of God's arc. We got retelling of that with Dragon Ball Super, and it was 2 arcs that we really didn't need to see Super do. It would have been better to have got 2 extra arcs of fresh material. So what I hope this isn't is Vegeta going to Planet Sadao and having the whole Planet Sadao kind of arc, plus looking back at Yamcha. What's the guy called? The original Super Saiyan God guy, whatever. With a little bit of crossover to him, and I don't want
Yamoshi, isn't it? Yamoshi, yeah.
It would be shit if they did that, and then Super came back at the beginning of, let's say, 2020, with an arc retelling that story, I don't want to see that. What do you think? I don't want Super to redo whatever this movie is.
No, I agree with that. I think it would be very frustrating if they did for a lot of fans. I suppose wait for more details and more theories for the time being.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
When it comes to that.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, I can't think of anything else to cover. I think we've more or less covered the episode. We've talked a few theories. I think anybody who's interested in what we've spoken about today, they could go and subscribe to the YouTube channel Zero Signal DBS.
Zero Signal DBS. Subscribe for more videos.
That's the one.
And if you're still thinking about
voice, there's a lot of that voice in there.
No,
it's great. It's great. I think it's unique.
If you're still here, guys, drop a like. It would be very much appreciated, and we'll continue to do this for at least 6 more weeks, I think, because we've got 6 more weeks of Dragon Ball, and who knows, we might do another one to kind of close it all off and reminisce at some of the best moments that Dragon Ball Super has given us. And we're not going to be bogged down with any negativity, guys. There's going to be people who are going to hate on Super, but we're not about that here. Let's focus on the positives. We grew up watching Dragon Ball, grew up watching Dragon Ball C on Toonami Cartoon Network, and I don't know how I felt when it was announced it was coming back. I was overjoyed. I couldn't wait for the series to start, and that was like 6 months, I think, before it started to air. And I'm sure you guys are all the same. So let's not hate on Dragon Ball. Let's just get behind their series, and hopefully, providing we keep supporting it and it makes money, they'll continue to make Dragon Ball so we can still be watching it in old people's homes when we're older.
Oh yeah, that's the plan for the rest of my life, man. Yeah. Reruns of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super until old age hits me.
Yeah.
I suppose just before we close it, there's another comment from the 2 hacks when they did in a way to show the power-ups if people didn't see the movies. I don't think they'll do it with the new movie. That was from Mikulan. He's always making some good points.
Yeah, thanks for the comments, Mikulan, dude.
Thank you to everybody for the contributions and the comments.
You came here last week and appreciate that, dude. And also KWN030. Yo, when's the show gonna start? Yeah, dude. We started streaming an hour ago to talk about the episode that's just finished. The episode aired 1 hour 42 minutes ago. We said this last week, but if you want to watch the episode live, just know that it starts at 9 o'clock in the morning in Japan. So what you want to be doing is finding a source to watch Fuji TV and work out what time, where you are in the world in terms of time zones for Japan for 9 o'clock, and tune in and watch it.
Fuji TV, it's reliable.
Then come here and we'll have a bit of a talk about it and dissect the episode together. But yeah, any closing comments, dude?
No, apart from I'm looking forward to the to next week's episode. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's theories and just discussions everywhere. I'll be tuning in to see what people have to say about it. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in and contributed to this live stream. And I hope we'll see a lot of you soon. Do you have any closing comments?
No, dude, he's pretty much covered it for me. But yeah, thanks very much, everybody. And be sure to come back at about 12:30 UK time. Again, work that out for where you are in the world. After the episode finishes, and we will be talking, hopefully again here, about what's happened in Dragon Ball Super 126 and preview to 127 and what we can expect from the last few episodes of the series. Thanks, everybody. Peace. Cheers, guys. All the best. Cheers.